Ladies and gentlemen, this is a difficult moment for America. I unfortunately will be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary Rod Page and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today we've had a national tragedy. Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you very much.
It's been a year, Daddy. I really, really miss you. Mommy says you're safe now in a beautiful place called heaven.
Oh, thinking about our younger years.
We had your favorite dinner tonight.
That was only you and me.
And I ate it all
We were
up.
young and wild and free.
Even though I don't like carrots.
Now nothing can take you away from me.
I learned how to swim this summer.
We've been down that road before.
And I can't even open my
That's
eyes
over now.
when I'm underwater.
Keep me coming back for more.
Can you see me? I miss you, Daddy.
Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven.
It's been 5 years, Daddy.
Love is all that I need.
I'm in 5th grade
And I
now.
found it there in your heart.
I really like
It
computers,
isn't too hard to see.
but math is hard.
Heaven.
Mommy lets me sleep in one of your t-shirts.
Oh, once in your life you find someone.
I think it still smells like you.
Who will turn your world around.
I don't need to sleep with the light on
You
anymore.
up when you're feeling down.
I'm trying not to cry, Daddy, but it still hurts.
Now nothing can change what you mean to me.
I really miss you, Daddy.
There's a lot that I could say. Just hold me now.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
'Cause our love
Can you see
will
me?
light the way.
It's been 10 years, Daddy.
Baby, you're all that I want.
I started high school.
You're lying here in my arms.
I made the honor roll.
Finding it hard to believe.
I hope you're proud of me.
Heaven.
I'm also on the soccer team.
Love is all that I need.
Can you see me on
And
the
I
field?
found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see.
I started thinking about
We're in
colleges.
heaven.
Do you think I could be a doctor?
Now our dreams are coming true. Through the good times and the bad.
I know you'll be with me when I walk down the aisle. I try not to be sad,
Baby, you're all that I want.
but it hurts.
See you lying here in my arms. Finding it hard to believe we're in heaven.
I hope you know you're my hero.
Love is all that I need. And I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven.
I love you so much. Can you see me? Can you see me?
I miss you, Daddy. I really miss you, Daddy.
I miss you, Daddy.
We're in heaven.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. The nation sends its love and compassion to everybody who is here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime. We are joined in this operation by our staunch friend, Great Britain. Other close friends, including Canada, Australia, Germany, and France, have pledged forces as the operation unfolds. More than 40 countries in the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and across Asia have granted air transit or landing rights. Many more have shared intelligence. We are supported by the collective will of the world. More than 2 weeks ago, I gave Taliban leaders a series of clear and specific demands. Close terrorist training camps, hand over leaders of the al-Qaeda network, and return all foreign nationals, including American citizens unjustly detained in your country. None of these demands were met. And now, the Taliban will pay a price. By destroying camps and disrupting communications, we will make it more difficult for the terror network to train new recruits and coordinate their evil plans. Initially, the terrorists may burrow deeper into caves and other entrenched hiding places. Our military action is also designed to clear the way for sustained, comprehensive, and relentless operations to drive them out and bring them to justice. At the same time, the oppressed people of Afghanistan will know the generosity of America and our allies. As we strike military targets, we will also drop food, medicine, and supplies to the starving and suffering men and women and children of Afghanistan. The United States of America is a friend to the Afghan people, and we are the friends of almost 1 billion worldwide who practice the Islamic faith. The United States of America is an enemy of those who aid terrorists and of the barbaric criminals who profane a great religion by committing murder in its name. This military action is a part of our campaign against terrorism, another front in a war that has already been joined through diplomacy, intelligence, the freezing of financial assets, and the arrests of known terrorists by law enforcement agents in 38 countries. Given the nature and reach of our enemies, we will win this conflict by the patient accumulation of successes, by meeting a series of challenges with determination and will and purpose. Today we focus on Afghanistan, but the battle is broader. Every nation has a choice to make. In this conflict, there is no neutral ground. If any government sponsors the outlaws and killers of innocents, they have become outlaws and murderers themselves. And they will take that lonely path at their own peril. I'm speaking to you today from the Treaty Room of the White House, a place where American presidents have worked for peace. We're a peaceful nation. Yet as we have learned so suddenly and so tragically, there can be no peace in a world of sudden terror. In the face of today's new threat, the only way to pursue peace is to pursue those who threaten it. We did not ask for this mission, but we will fulfill it. The name of today's military operation is Enduring Freedom. We defend not only our precious freedoms, but also the freedom of people everywhere to live and raise their children free from fear. I know many Americans feel fear today, and our government is taking strong precautions. All law enforcement and intelligence agencies are working aggressively around America, around the world, and around the clock. At my request, many governors have activated the National Guard to strengthen airport security. We have called up reserves to reinforce our military capability and strengthen the protection of our homeland. In the months ahead, our patience will be one of our strengths. Patience with the long waits that will result from tighter security. Patience in understanding that it will take time to achieve our goals. Patience in all the sacrifices that may come. Today, those sacrifices are being made by members of our armed forces who now defend us so far from home, and by their proud and worried families. A commander-in-chief sends America's sons and daughters into a battle in a foreign land only after the greatest care and a lot of prayer. We ask a lot of those who wear our uniform. We ask them to leave their loved ones, to travel great distances, to risk injury, even to be prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice of their lives. They are dedicated. They are honorable. They represent the best of our country, and we are grateful. To all the men and women in our military, every sailor, every soldier, every airman, every Coast Guardsman, every Marine, I say this: your mission is defined, your objectives are clear, your goal is just. You have my full confidence, and you will have every tool you need to carry out your duty. I recently received a touching letter that says a lot about the state of America in these difficult times. A letter from a 4th grade girl with a father in the military. As much as I don't want my dad to fight, she wrote, I'm willing to give him to you. This is a precious gift, the greatest she could give. This young girl knows what America is all about. Since September 11, an entire generation of young Americans has gained new understanding of the value of freedom and its cost in duty and in sacrifice. The battle is now joined on many fronts. We will not waver. We will not tire. We will not falter. And we will not fail. Peace and freedom will prevail. Thank you. May God continue to bless America.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. It was nearly 10 years ago that a bright September day was darkened by the worst attack on the American people in our history. The images of 9/11 are seared into our national memory. Hijacked planes cutting through a cloudless September sky, the Twin Towers collapsing to the ground, black smoke billowing up from the Pentagon, the wreckage of Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the actions of heroic citizens saved even more heartbreak and destruction. And yet we know that the worst images are those that were unseen to the world. The empty seat at the dinner table, children who were forced to grow up without their mother or their father, parents who would never know the feeling of their child's embrace, nearly 3,000 citizens taken from us, leaving a gaping hole in our hearts. On September 11th, 2001, in our time of grief, the American people came together. We offered our neighbors a hand, and we offered the wounded our blood. We reaffirmed our ties to each other and our love of community and country. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family. We were also united in our resolve to protect our nation and to bring those who committed this vicious attack to justice.
It's 8:52 here in New York. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
We now have 2 passenger planes smashing into the World Trade Center.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
When people say never forget, sometimes when you sit back and watch the world today, you think, did they forget? Yeah. You know, did people only remember on the week before, the week after September 11th? No, this happens every single day.
Yeah.
You know, I don't forget.
I will never forget. My best friend growing up, he lost his father in 9/11. You know, seeing his name here brings back a lot of good memories and, you know, some really sad memories as well. Yeah, it's hard to fathom what our lives would be had 9/11 not happened.
There's a couple things in my life I can remember. I can remember that standing right in Red Bank, New Jersey, at the cruiser station, September 12th. I was like, here I am, send me. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Look at how many brothers and sisters that we have in the Wound the Warrior Project that have signed up because of 9/11. Did you have thoughts of joining the military?
Prior to September 11th, that wasn't even something on the radar. I remember driving past the armory in Staten Island and seeing those big tanks outside and seeing the guys in their berets and their BDUs and just thinking, wow, like that's really cool. Like it's like a movie. And then I never would have thought that a year later I would be raising my right hand and saying, you know, I'm here, I'm ready to serve. I would do it again in a second. Is this the first time you're here?
I was here once before, several years ago, but I really couldn't come in. I only did the first part and then I had to leave because it was just too much for me.
Yeah. What do you remember specifically about September 11th?
I remember getting a phone call early in the morning and I put the TV on to see the second plane go in. So from where I live, I was able to go down to the beach. It probably took a couple minutes. The smoke and the smell came to our town because of the way the wind was coming. I've never been here to dig or help, but I've been to the landfill to help try and find a black box.
Yeah.
And to see something that was once a building and looking for something so small, it was an eye-opener.
Yeah, I can't even imagine digging through all of that. I know they were bringing over a lot of the remains from the World Trade Center to Staten Island to the landfill. And just to think of you having to dig and look through all that and not knowing what you're going to find, that must have been so hard. One thing I remember so vividly from that morning was how beautiful the sky was. This wall behind us signifies that sky. It still resonates with me till this day. It was like our picture-perfect day was taken from us and people's lives were taken as well as a result of the attacks on 9/11. One of the beautiful things about this memorial is that the future generations, they can come together and learn and never forget about what happened on September 11th. They can tell their children about it, and the people that lost their lives will never be forgotten.
And I'm glad that I had someone else here that could understood how I felt and what happened that day. This place does exist to never forget, and when you come here, you see people that have not forgotten.